our time together, I'm asking for your continuing vote of confidence as the Utah County Republican Chair. I ask for your vote based on the strength of the fact that the past 2 years under my leadership have been positive, productive, and healthy. I am ready, able, proven, and very willing to lead with you for the next 2 years. I ask for your vote. What have we accomplished together? 2 years ago, we couldn't even agree on an agenda in our meetings. Today, the necessary business of the party moves forward. Difficult issues are addressed head-on with courtesy and thoughtfulness until we arrive at a resolution. We actually lead meetings with a plan of action. 2 years ago, we started out with only a few $1,000s in the bank. Today, we have over $20,000 in our account, and that's after having paid all of our bills, including today. And that only begins to tell the story. Under my leadership, together, we have raised, as of April 30th, 2013, $112,664.11. Doesn't include what I'm getting out of you right now. What have we done with that money? Well, we've rented schools for meetings, we've donated to the state party, we've staged very successful Lincoln Day dinners, and best of all, we've donated over $30,000 to Republican candidates. In fact, we have donated exactly $34,230 to get Republican candidates elected. I've raised money side by side with you, and I will now reveal my secret. It is to separate people from their money and their wallets as easily, as painlessly, and even as joyfully as possible. Now, amidst all of this joy, there has been some pain. We Republicans lost a big race in 2012, but that's going to change in 2014 when we take back the 4th Congressional District. It's not to say that we didn't come so close in 2012. In this county, under our leadership, I signed 2 major checks to the state party on behalf of Mia Love's campaign. We staffed Mia's call center. I walked door to door in Mia's district alongside so many of you. Our county party donation to Mia was a tremendous $10,000. So, why did we lose? Well, there's a myriad of reasons, but it wasn't for lack of blood, sweat, tears, and money on the part of the Utah County Republican Party. I will point out one thing. The majority of precincts in that 4th Congressional District are in Salt Lake County. Utah County represents only a fraction of the 4th District. Yet, do you know how much that the Salt Lake County Republican Party donated to Mia's campaign? 0. Zip. Nada. Okay, enough on that. We have a tremendous candidate in Mia. Together, the Utah County Republican Party will make the second time a charm, and our country deserves nothing less. Now, something shocking has happened. I have recently been informed that I am old. I suppose, like so many of us in this room, I wear that badge proudly. I'd like to think of it as well-seasoned. My opponent has explained that he first became politically aware during Clinton's Monica Lewinsky affair, when my opponent was in the 4th grade. Certainly, my commitment to Republican principles came at an earlier time. I was working on Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C. in 1984. That's the year when Mondale beat Reagan. I'll say what the great communicator said in that debate. I want you to know that I will not make age an issue of this campaign. I'm not going to exploit for political purposes my opponent's youth and inexperience. This has been an invigorating 2 years for our party. I ask that we make the next 2 years exhilarating together. I ask for your vote. Thank you.
My name is Voeks, and I'm running for chairman. I'm running because I'm concerned about the future of this great nation. In America today, one party, the Democrats, constantly pushes us closer and closer towards socialism. And again, this week, President Obama complained that he hasn't been able to impose more taxes, more social welfare programs, and more anti-gun laws on the American people because Republicans are unwilling to negotiate. Well, Mr. President, I disagree. The problem with Republicans isn't that they are too conservative or too principled. The problem with Republicans is that there aren't enough of them in office. As chairman, I will work to organize our county party so that we will win every partisan election that involves our county. Last year, being so inexperienced, I ran Mia Love's campaign up through the state convention when she won 70% of the vote. The first thing I did as campaign manager was identify smart, competent, hardworking people, and I put them in key positions in Mia's campaign. We then went out and recruited volunteers who were excited about our candidate. Using those volunteers, we built an overwhelming and successful team that resulted in Mia receiving again over 70% of the voting convention. I would like to implement a similar volunteer program here in Utah County. On caucus night, I will have our precinct chairs ask caucus attendees to mark whether they would be willing to donate some of their time to volunteering for Republicans who might find themselves in tight races. I will engage the youth, as Congressman Chapin earlier referenced. I will coordinate with college Republicans and other young Republican groups, which are a tremendous source of volunteers and activists, something the Democrats discovered a long time ago. We will then compile a list of these volunteers and provide the list to our candidates once they receive the Republican Party nomination. I will also increase our fundraising totals. As many of you know, I'm the director and part owner of the Discovery Space Center at Pleasant Grove. One of the things I do at my business is find corporate donors and sponsors. This year alone, I have raised $110,000 from them, which is far more than we did last year as a county party. To improve our party fundraising, I will find new donors and maintain and improve relations with our current donors. I will also strive to invite nationally known Republicans to speak at our Lincoln Day dinners so that we can attract more donors to our party. As chairman, I will work on improving our party's messaging and outreach by showing how we are the party of the American dream. My father works in real estate. One of the things he does is coach new clients on how to successfully buy and sell properties. Many of his clients come from the inner cities and have always voted Democrat and received welfare. When they receive their first big paycheck after a sale, these inner city clients often cry because they felt the comfort that comes from financial security. Then they cry even harder when they find out how much of their money the government is going to take. Once they settle down, my dad begins the political conversion process. He points out that their labors have put them on a path to reaching the American dream. High taxes, government spending, deficits, and national debt. They always agree that they are opposed to those things. And more often than not, these clients also favor conservative social values, like being pro-life, the right to defend themselves and their families. My father then points out how these values and the principles are the principles of the Republican Party. As one of his clients recently proclaimed, I feel like I've been caught. My whole life I've been a Democrat. But you just helped me realize I'm actually a Republican. As chairman, I will convey that message to Republican values, and that Republican values are those of the American dream. Finally, I want to thank you all for being here today. You are good citizens who understand the importance of civic involvement, and I've enjoyed listening to your ideas. Unfortunately, most of the legislators that I've spoken with told me that they don't feel like they've received the support from party leadership for the past several years. Most of the delegates I've talked to are concerned that they've never been contacted by their party chair and have never received any training to help them take a greater role in the Republican Party. There is a feeling of being left out, and this is why we need a change in leadership. Inclusiveness and diversity in our party are good things. Let's use our diversity to bring us together in working and growing the party. Let's reach out to voters. Let's find our common beliefs and focus on the principles we share as a party. We need to make sure everything is done in fairness and that process is followed correctly, without getting distracted from the purpose of the party. I can also promise you as chairman that I will attend all of the State Central Committee meetings and I will fulfill all of the duties of chairman. If what I have laid out today is the goal and vision of Utah County Republican Party that you would like to see implemented, I ask for your vote. In the next 2 years, we will accomplish great things together. Thank you so much.